Let me take a shot for that. I'm paying first for that. Oh, I've been first for that. Oh yeah, I just need an excuse to drink rum. I just need an alibi. Just give me a reason why. Just give me an excuse to play mass. I just need an alibi. Just give me a reason why. Just talk about me, so why you could get a pass to be mass. Just talk about me, so why you could get a reason to fight my worries away, all my problems away, 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 oh yeah. You look around me, everybody jump, every single body jump good. The whole party come true, oh, cause we don't have no problems, we just set them all away. So we don't care about what people say. SPG.
Voice of the Man, Bongo Prime, representing for Activated Mornings on WEFM 99.9.
WhatsApp us or call us at 457-9997.
We're back. Good mornings with Roleza and Dianna. We are here with you for another week. And where are you do? How was the weekend? What kind of spirit are you in this morning? We hope you're in good spirits. And if not, that's why we are here. It was a very eventful weekend, and we will talk about that. Not who we are. Good morning to Roleza.
All right, so good morning to everybody. We are back with you. Some persons are, feeling refreshed and reinvigorated to start the week since I've had. All right. So I don't why. Well, I mean, I know why. I was just went bed late. So it is Saturday. 50 like Monday. I totally understand. Right. On the positive side, it's going to be a 4-day work week for most of us. Okay. So good morning, and let's get to it.
We want to hear all of it and talk about it. You can give us a call 457-9997 to tell us about the events you attended. What were they like? What did you have fun? 100% fun or not so much fun? I noticed that there were at least I know of two accidents when I was coming home last night. Traffic was diverted because of the one in Lomans. I noticed there was another one in Tongue again. But of course, we have traffic talk this morning at 7:35. So then we will hear just how many accidents there were over this long weekend. But just to encourage you to continue to drive safe. And, the other day I'm always thinking a lot of things. And I was in a vehicle the other day and I was thinking, driving, when you drive, you really, really put a lot of trust in other people. Now, you have to really trust that people are going to stay on their hand.
When you're driving?
Yeah, because you're just, when you think about it, you both have your hand to drive on. But the reality is you're trusting that everybody's going to stay on their hand. Because at any minute, somebody could just, let me head over here,
well, that's the thing as a driver. You do have to think for other persons, right? Especially like them van drivers. Morning all van drivers out there. Especially those van drivers who might stop in a funny corner. You not only have to think about the van driver who might look to move off, but also if there's any vehicle that, let's say, is behind them, who might want to overtake, right? So it's a lot of thought process. That's why you kind of have to be alert. And as I always say, if ever I realize that my instincts off, realize that is the time when I need to go and get myself checked because of how alert you have to be. From the time I realize that I'm slipping, then I would know that something is up with me. So that's weird way of okay?
All right. So there were several good activities over the weekend, and unfortunately, there are a few bad things in the mix. This morning, if you were listening to the news, I read in Diamond with what appears to be let me make sure I have the what appears to be gunshot wounds, and two bodies were discovered in Vietnam, and those investigations are being carried out as well. And of course, the police encourage you to contact them if you have any information as it relates to any of these incidents. So that's the bad part, and then head on over to all the positive things that happened, starting with, well, Taste the Nation. Did you get a chance to go out to Annisville? No.
I drove past it, but
okay. I seemed like the wild meat night which was I think the first night, was a real popular thing with people. Vinci people apparently really like their wild meat. So that one was all right. So we had the Taste the Nation. If you tried it, if you went there, you could give us a little review how that went. There was the opening of the port as well, Roleza.
You were there,
yeah,
right? So how was it? You're watching me. I wasn't there.
So I was at the opening of the port. It felt great to be there. That port is huge. Of all the pictures and videos that I had seen, it really did not. I really didn't think it was that big. It's very big. Yeah. A lot of space.
Okay. But did you go to look at the opening?
I went to perform.
Okay.
Yeah.
Okay.
I went with my little group to perform. So I didn't really hear much of the speeches and so that were taking place. I was sort of backstage. But I did enjoy the entertainment segment with Bomani, El Punk, and Fireman. In the end, yeah, they closed off. I don't know if that was in the live, but
I don't think so. And I'm trying to figure out. I'm sure I looked at that.
That was in the end after everything had finished. Yeah.
Okay. Yeah, I only looked at part of it. On Saturday, I went to the expo at Diamond. So I drove past Annisville, Tampa, where they were having the Taste of the Nation on regarding expo. There were a lot of small, medium, large scale businesses represented. Somehow it seemed as if to me it was fewer businesses though. Somehow I think in engaging from Yes Fast, and though it was well participated in terms of persons there with their exhibits. In speaking to a few of the persons who were there, particularly small businesses, when I asked them, I'm not sure if it's because it was a Saturday that I went and maybe it picked up on the Sunday and the Monday, but at the time that I went, which would have been at least 2.5 piece days with a fast, which would be would have been the Friday piece or the Thursday, part of the Saturday, because I went in the Saturday afternoon. They said that things were slow, right? In terms of getting sales and so forth. And I think that is always one of the challenges with persons, especially small businesses. If you are going to take part in an expo, you're going to be making that big push to be able to have enough stuff there or enough products there for you to be able to showcase. But the goal of it always is to be able to sell your items, to be able to get your items sold. And I keep saying, and I think I've said this before, and I probably repeat it again. One of the things that I think that might help to push a lot more weekend activities besides the parties, because parties will always be well attended. Well, for some reason, parties will always be well attended, right? Especially when you're catering to a particular age group. One of the other things that I would probably like to see is that persons get paid before, when it comes to the independence time, that persons get paid before. So even like for activities like the expo, they have like a little bit of extra money that they could be able to participate and, be able to buy certain products, etc. from some of these businesses, because it really is difficult for you to sit down at an expo. You could possibly be losing money.
Yeah.
I'm not going to that back. Entities paid before, but maybe government could also try to encourage that spending for the independence season by paying earlier. That's just my personal thoughts there.
I know that the alumni of the intermediate high school, or Timmy, had their activities last week and into the weekend as well. Unfortunately, I was not able to attend the dinner, but I hope that it was amazing. Primus, you'll tell me how we go. All right, I hope that was indeed very, very successful for you. And yesterday now was the big day when we went out. Well, some of us went outside to celebrate the 46th anniversary of independence, which took place at the Annisville playing field. There was I know the Independence Committee kept telling us to keep our eyes on the sky, look out for a surprise. And well, some persons saw the surprise before the day of the surprise, but the surprise was some soldiers from the Guyana Defense Force parachuted down, some carrying the Guyanese flag and some, at least one, carrying the Vinci flag. At least one that I saw. I was surprised. Yeah, what do you think of the surprise, Roleza?
But I caught the live late, so I only saw part of it after. And I mean, it was different. I am not going to knock whenever the Independence Committee or whoever, could just be whoever generally, try to do something new and try to do something innovative. Could then have a little better yes, right? Because one of the other things that we noticed is that because of the way in which the flag was positioned on the person who was coming down with our flag, the flag ended up touching the ground, right? It's the first thing that I saw when the person landed. Now, of course, I don't want to think that it was deliberate. Yes, persons rushed over very quickly to raise the flag off the ground, but maybe, additional thought could have gone into maybe better positioning where the flag was so that it would not have ended touching the ground, right? I think one of the things that personally was the goodies that were mentioned in the Prime Minister's speech. I don't know how well received some of these goodies were, right? I noticed that person started to clap, or part of it in particular, when he announced the 3% for public servants. But I'm not sure if at that time it soaked into persons what 3% would actually really calculate to for the majority of persons, right? I think before, back in the day, whenever we used to get bonuses, it was like a flat figure. If I'm not mistaken, it used to be like you're getting $100, $150. Like it was that figure that across the board, but it was never, in my recollection, a percentage of your because salary at 3% for many persons is not going to be significant. All right. But I realized that to me, even in delivering the goodies, and I don't know what it was with persons yesterday, but many of them, they were not as receptive. They were not clapping as loudly as as happened in times past. So even that too might be a whole separate discussion of conversation, right? But for me, I bet I'll be fatty with somebody that today is the day, right? Because there's supposed to be a rally happening today. There is the rally happening, and to be holding a rally on a random Tuesday, given all the activities that we just came off of since last week, to be holding a quote unquote random rally today. I think many of us are looking forward to the announcement of the date for elections today. All right, many persons just want to hear the date announced so we could get past this part of the season. We also probably need to touch on, well, I don't know if we would have the time, but the big topic over the weekend, at least until Monday, was the Mali Don performance at the NDP's rally, right? So it's a good bit of stuff that was there that happened, and a good bit of things that we could talk about. But yeah, that was the weekend in Vinci for you folks.
And with that, we are going just to mention one of the things that they had at the period. They had some traditional Vinci characters or being portrayed some washerwomen. They had a little dancing, and the rhythm section, of course, played some music as persons were entering the stadium. It is 7:34. It's almost 7:35. So we are going to head into our 45 with more talk